sports debate show out there. I am your host, Jeff, aka Basketball for Brains, because I drop some facts, knowledge, and points of view that could not be disputed. So I am here tonight to host the show. We've got four of the best sports minds in the game. OJ at OJ Knows Sports, Anthony at Sports Fluent, Matt at Nuggets of Gold, and Jay at Dub vs. World. Guys, are you ready?
Ready, let's do this.
Let's go.
In case you didn't hear, we may have perhaps seen the greatest divisional round in NFL history. 4 games in the books this past weekend. They did not disappoint, came down to the wire. It was phenomenal. We are left with 4 teams remaining, vying for that ultimate goal, the Super Bowl championship. Who is your favorite at this point, and what have you seen in the playoffs to justify that stance? Jay, I'd like to hear from you.
Oh, what was the question?
-1.
What was the question? I got caught up.
OJ, I'd like to hear from you.
OJ?
OJ, let's do this.
Oh, wow. I thought he said Dub. I'm sorry. So the question is, who's the team to beat, the best team? Yeah, it's the Chiefs. And I honestly, I'd be hard-pressed if anybody else on this panel says anybody other than the Chiefs, because they've proved that in order for you to beat them, you're going to need essentially 12 seconds or less, right? That was absolutely fantastic. I mean, their comeback was just, if you want to call it a comeback, it was just so profound that it sparked this entire debate I see now on TikTok and ESPN about should we change overtime rules and things of that nature because of the Chiefs doing something that is not normal. That is crazy. So to me, I think they're going to absolutely destroy the Bengals. They're going to win that game by at least 15 points. They're the best team. Prior to them, it was really between the Chiefs and the Packers, but Aaron Rodgers, in his usual fashion this time of year, choked away, and shouts out to the 49ers for that. But yeah, it's the Chiefs, and I'm not so sure that it's even close.
Matt, do you agree, or who else do you have?
So I definitely have the Chiefs at number 1. And like OJ said, if you're not going Chiefs at 1, I don't really know what we're talking about here. I mean, you have a team that's been in the Super Bowl the past 2 seasons. We saw Patrick Mahomes on display on Sunday night. 13 seconds left, and they need a field goal, and he throws 2 strikes across the field and gets them there. I mean, insane performance. Now, him and Josh Allen, I truthfully think that was probably like the real Super Bowl there. Now, like the winner of that game is going to go on. That's what my thought was. If I'm not going to go the Chiefs, though, if I'm going to take a team after them, I would probably lean the 49ers, though it is close between the 49ers and the Rams. Now, for the Bengals, that is a long shot. If they can somehow get it done against the Chiefs, well, nice, but then you're going to have another really tough matchup in the Super Bowl. So I would probably go Niners at 2, just considering that they've beat the Rams 7 times in a row and Kyle Shanahan has absolutely owned Sean McVay. So I think Matthew Stafford's going to have a very, very tough time, but I'm expecting a 49ers-Chiefs rematch of the 2019 Super Bowl. However, this time I'm hoping it goes a little differently, and we don't have to see Patrick Mahomes have that fourth quarter heroics this time around.
Anthony, let's hear your view.
Interesting.
I'm going with the team that beat the Chiefs. No, hell no, I'm not doing that. So everybody's going to be right, but I'll say this. I'll give you my top 2 because typically I would pick the team with the best defense that has enough offense. And that would be the Rams, because the Rams defense was built. This is what they were built to do. And they have a top 10 quarterback in Matthew Stafford. They have the best wide receiver this year, Cooper Kupp. OBJ is playing like old OBJ. They've now found a running game in Cam Akers and Sony Michel. So they've got the pieces. But if I had to pick who's the number 1, I got to go with the Chiefs, because who has the best quarterback? And it's by far Patrick Mahomes. Who has the most potent offense? Because right now, it used to be defense wins championships, but the Chiefs are proving that that's not the case. So they've got the best quarterback. They've got the best group of receivers in Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and Pringle's good. And even McKinney is running the ball. They're getting enough defense. And like OJ said, 13 seconds. All you had to do was stop them for 13 seconds, And the Bills, you win that game. So when you're going with the team, when it's down to 4, the best quarterback, the best offense, and the team that's been there before, they know what it takes to get to the Super Bowl. They've done it 2 years in a row. So, yeah, I don't see how you pick against the Chiefs. But I think if there was number 2, I'd probably have to go with the Rams.
Jay, I'm going to start by letting you know I, too, have forgotten a question. But I also want to let you know that led to me getting eliminated that round immediately. So I need this answer to be on point, good sir. What do you have to say?
Listen, the correct answer has been said 2 times already. I don't know why somebody even brought up the 49ers. And you're a 49ers fan, which is funny. Listen, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. If you want to still say Tom Brady's the best, okay, I'm cool with that. But we all know Aaron Rodgers isn't up there anymore. It's between Mahomes and Brady. So you got the best quarterback in the league on one of the best teams with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, top 5 wide receiver, top 2, top 3 tight end. They got Chris Jones on there. They got Tyrann Mathieu. Now, Tyrann Mathieu not play, but honestly, that doesn't matter, bro. The amount of talent that is on the Kansas City Chiefs is undeniable. They have been battle tested year in and year out. They've been to 2 straight Super Bowls already. They've went to 4 straight AFC championships, bro. When you're talking about pure dominance, bro, they are doing just that. And if they win this year, they're going to be talks of a dynasty, bro, and you can't deny that. The Chiefs are the best team. This is a New England Patriots run like what happened with Tom Brady when he won against Seattle, then lost to the Eagles, and no. Am I mistaken? It was the Falcons, Eagles, and then Rams, right? Falcons,
Yeah,
Eagles, Rams.
yeah.
So it's almost the same exact scenario, bro. So the Chiefs are the team, bro, and they're not gonna. In order to be the man, you got to beat the man, bro. And right now, the Chiefs are the man. They're the man. I'm sorry.
I can appreciate those responses from everybody, quite honestly. And, a little underwhelming in the response. And we got a little echo chamber going on. It's how it goes when there's only one team to choose. That is why I'll let you folks already know. My mind is already made up. I know who's out of the first round. And all 4 of you, I want to hear your condensed version. What does the NFL need to do about the overtime rules? We saw the game that it was coming down to the last possession. So that's a point that I don't want to hear about. It's aware. And I don't want to hear about how the last 11 playoff games, 10 out of the 11 winners have won because of coin flip. That is old news. So keep it fresh. Let's make it around the horn again. OJ, what do you got?
My solution is very simple. For the regular season, keep it the same exact as is. For the playoffs, change it to college rule because the coin toss allows you to have equal opportunity to get the ball, but it does not give you equal opportunity to win the game. Those are 2 very distinct and different things. Holla at your boy.
Matt.
I think you have to go college overtime, and I see what OJ is saying to do in the regular season. I would just say do it the full time. It's way more exciting. And I've heard the argument that defense needs to matter in a lot of these games and that these rules make defense matter because they hold a team. If you have the college rules, then it's about red zone defense. So it's not taking away any aspect of the defense. It's just making it a lot less lopsided and a lot better to watch from a viewership standpoint. So I say go to the college rules as well.
Anthony.
So I don't like the college rules because I think they're a little too gimmicky. And if there's 3, they say there's 3 phases of the game. So if you say there's 3 phases of the game, well, that includes kicking. So you need to have the kicking part of it. What I would do is, 1, if you care about player safety, and this is a big if, is you just get rid of overtime in the regular season and you just call it a tie. And what you do in the playoffs, if you don't care about player safety, no problem. You do this as well. You make a 7-minute quarter, it might be 10, but you do a 7-minute quarter and you play the game of football. Just like they do in the NBA. You play 1 more quarter, a condensed quarter, shorter quarter. That gives everybody the opportunity to kick, to play offense, most likely, because if you can hold the ball for 7 minutes, then maybe you deserve to win. And you're playing offense, defense, and special teams. That's really the only way to make it that everybody gets an opportunity. And then if you hold them to a field goal, right, good for you. Go back down there and you have to score. I want people to win a game playing the game, right? I don't want penalty kicks. I don't want shootouts. I don't want gimmicks. I don't want you have to go for 2-point conversions like they have to do at some point in college football. Those are gimmicks. No, I want someone to win the game by playing
contest taking place.
Yeah, I don't want a field goal kicking contest. I want you to win the game by playing the game, and that's how you do it. You extend it. Like I said, maybe not a full 15, 7-minute quarters. And you just play one until there's a winner.
I want to get you to the next round, so I'm going to get you to Jay because we were doing condensed version. Jay,
sorry, condensed. Sorry.
I'm sorry, bro. Fluent said this last night, and I absolutely love it. It is one of the best ideas I've ever heard, bro. It's like baseball. Baseball is such a beautiful sport. You want to know why? Because everybody has a chance to come back. These whole college rules and all this other BS, it's just BS, bro. Just go out there and play the game of football, man. Play the whole time clock. If you could hold the ball for 7 minutes, go ahead and hold the damn ball. The defense it's their fault that they're not being able to stop you. And if the offense gets stopped, everyone has a chance, and everyone has a chance to come back. That is the most perfect way to play it. All these little, if I score and you score and then I kick a field goal, the game's up. Nah, get that the hell out of here. I don't even want that. Or you score I don't like that, bro. Just go out there, play until the time runs out. Honestly, that's the one.
Could you imagine baseball, the top of the inning, if you score, you win? Oh, it's just like better defense?
I'm sorry.
That's
like,
crazy.
Your overtime rules is the best idea I've ever heard in my life.
Thank you.
So with you guys' proposal, what happens after the 7 minutes?
If it's still a tie, whoever another 7 minutes.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So you can have
21
minutes, 3 overtime rules in the playoff to defeat the purpose of actually the time constraint.
Gotcha. That's pretty much just like basketball. I'm not gonna lie. I like that idea. I actually like the college rules. I actually like the college rules as well. Honestly, the NFL overtime rules are in need of some change. We might all agree on that front. So, Jay, had you been the first one to answer like I had planned, you might have been moving on to the next round. But I am sorry, good sir.
It's cool.
We will catch you on the next one. We'll take some notes from these fellas. Hey guys, congratulations on making it to round 2. We're gonna switch it up to the NBA. In the last month, Klay Thompson has returned. Obviously, he's been with the team. He's a champion. But I want to toss out the idea, should he be coming off the bench? The Warriors look to be contending for a championship this year. What strategy is going to play right with Klay and that team? This time, let's start with Anthony.
Listen, Klay Thompson is, even though he's not 100%, he's still the second best offensive weapon on the team. He will be by the time they get to playoffs. He should be a starter. The only reason you would take Klay and put him back on the bench or have him come off the bench is if Jordan Poole, who is a younger player, is struggling to find his rhythm by coming off the bench. And Klay, being a veteran, says, hey, I'll take that responsibility of coming off the bench because I know I can step in and do what I have to do, which is shoot threes and play some defense. I can do that off the bench. Don't worry about it. I'll be that spark plug off the bench. That would be the only time I would take Klay off the starting unit and put him on the bench. Otherwise, hey, that's where Jordan Poole has to go. And then his role will need to be leading that second unit. And that might be something that he could strive in. He has a lot of confidence. He's playing really well this year. And he might relish that role of I'll lead the second unit. I'll be the top dog, the number one option on that second unit.
OJ, you've got a face on your face. What do you have to say?
One of the greatest franchises in NBA history is the San Antonio Spurs. And the reason why the San Antonio Spurs are so great of a franchise is because Greg Popovich and that organization, they always put team first. What can I do to put my team in position to win the most? I'm not concerned about players. I'm not concerned about making people happy. And I say all that to say this. Manu Ginobili was a great player, and he always came off the bench. Why? Because it was more conducive for the Spurs to win and play as a team for him to come off the bench. And the same principle should be applied to the Golden State Warriors. What position are you most optimal? It's when Jordan Poole, right, is starting and Klay Thompson is on the bench. Now, having said that, Klay Thompson can always work himself back to the starting lineup. It's going to take time. But until then, the Warriors should not have to suffer, the fact that he's not there and they're not meshing. Okay, do what is best for the team. And for the time being, it's for Klay Thompson to be benched. I'll let your boy.
Okay, so we got 2 for... Well, I guess
exactly what I said. He just said it in a different way. Yeah.
It was an option.
You said that Klay should start. I'm saying he should come off the bench.
Yeah, and LJ is saying a little more firmly. Matt, let's hear your point.
So what I'm looking at right now, I see that Klay Thompson's numbers are down across the board. He's playing roughly 20 to 25 minutes a game. Obviously, he's typically playing a lot more. I'm not expecting any of those numbers to, well, at least the minutes to change in the regular season. However, when we're talking about him coming off the bench, the thing I don't get about it is when it comes playoff time, who's Klay going to be on the court with? The starters. So to me, if you're trying to get him like kind of back meshing with all the guys, of course he has the natural chemistry with Steph. But if you want to kind of get him back in the routine of playing with this current starting core, then you want him to be playing with the starters, still playing less of the game, still giving Jordan Poole a large opportunity. And to me, it's not about the regular season. It's about preparing Klay for the postseason. Right now, the Warriors are sitting in the 2 seed, and you got to leave him starting because he needs minutes. He needs reps with the starters. He hasn't played. We talked about this. I know we talked about Klay a couple weeks ago. He hadn't played until before COVID started. That's insane. So you need him out there with the starters. I think if you bench him, yes, I guess it like kind of gives like opportunity to other guys, but I think overall it's hurting Klay's kind of, I don't want to say development. It's obviously not development, but kind of his adjustment back into playing with these guys. And I think it just does so much more for the Warriors come postseason if he's starting and he's out there with the starters consistently.
I think that's a good point. The only thing I'll say to that is by starting Klay Thompson, you risk the Warriors potentially going on a slide. Right now, Stephen Curry is not playing consistent. And overall, in general, he hasn't been so consistent. Now, do you want to risk losing some games to where you fall in the seeding and then all of a sudden you have to face a Memphis Grizzlies potentially in the first round who's had your number all year long?
Anthony, Jay, I want to make sure you're paying attention because I'm going to need I want to bounce this off you because these are some good answers we're getting here. Anthony, what have you say?
Yeah, I was going to say that's really the point. OJ brought up a really good point just now. The Memphis Grizzlies have had their number this year. And who hasn't been playing? Klay Thompson. So who do you need to really make the biggest impact and to get healthy and to get ready for those late season and most importantly playoff? Well, it's Klay Thompson. He's the one that needs to get in shape, get playoff ready. And how's he going to do that? By playing with the starters. And yeah, does it mean maybe losing a couple games in the regular season? Sure, but that's okay because we know the greater good is be playoff ready because that's when it matters. And the Warriors team has won championships. They know that too.
I'm not going to lie. I feel like there's a couple things you guys did not hit on that even though I liked your answers. His health, he missed the last 2 games. His knee was flaring up. So how can you push that in playing starters minute thinking playoffs? Well, we're not even in
not starters minutes. Not starters minutes. Like we said.
No, I get that. I understand that. The other part that you guys all left out was with those minutes and the adjustment. It's not who starts. It's who finishes. That's a real player's mentality. You want to be on the court at winning time. So if Klay could be available to finish games in the fourth quarter and hit shots as needed, I'm going to put him in whatever role is most beneficial to the team. And Anthony, I did appreciate you mentioned Jordan Poole and how that would affect him.
How does it affect him? That's the big one. That mental part that people forget about, right?
He agrees with you. You have to convince him to agree with you.
Jay, who would you take to the next round, and who are you butting out on this?
I like Fluent's point on Klay Thompson extremely. Like,
player's choice bias.
I'm going with that.
Thank you, sir.
It's not.
Double-holics, baby. Double-holics.
They need him. They need him for the playoffs. They need him for to make the playoff run. And honestly, the Warriors, that's the only thing that they need. If he's not healthy, they're not making it to the championship. They're not.
Who are you sending home?
I said I'm not. I said I like Fluid. So.
No, that's who's staying. Who's going home?
Yeah.
Wait. Is it between Fluent or OJ?
No, Matt or OJ. Who you sending home?
Oh,
I
Matt
just want to know
OJ?
your opinion.
Go with Matt.
Oh, man, we differed a lot. Matt was about the one I'm going to send on, so I'm going to veto that. Matt, I'm getting to the next round. Anthony,
that's crazy. He vetoed me.
OJ, a fine answer, but I've got to bow you out of this one. These two brought it pretty hard. Fellas.
Dang.
Welcome to the showdown. The winner, of course, will win the honor of my position next week.
Wait, hold up.
That's what happens when you bring it. We've got the question, are NFL defenses in general overrated Or is the offenses gotten too overpowered? Is this good for the NFL? Matt?
So with the rule changes about players, when receivers mainly are coming across the middle and they are not able to get hit like they were even 10 years ago, I mean, even 5 years ago, that has been the biggest difference, I think. So have defenses been overrated? I don't know if they've been overrated, but you can't have a great defense affect the game like it used to, that it used to be the case. I mean, you hear the term defenses win championships. Well, better way than having a great defense is you just put up 40 points. We've seen the Chiefs do this. We've seen a lot of teams just kind of take the mentality of, all right, we're just going to run up the score on these guys. You can do that in a number of ways. You do need to play good ball on both sides of the football. However, when we're talking about our offenses gotten too powerful, yes. However, is it good for the NFL? In a ton of ways, yes. Now, I'll say, me personally, I don't like it. I like seeing guys come across the middle. I like seeing great linebacker play. I like seeing great safety play. However, you're reducing injuries a ton, but I don't know. I think that overall, maybe they're not overrated, but you just can't have a defense take over the game like you used to, because every single time you throw across the middle, you're not able to get your head taken off. And that was an attribute of having two good linebackers in the middle of the field that would completely change the game. And that has just been taken out of football almost entirely. So defenses haven't got overrated, but the offenses are far too powerful now. And that's why you're going to see defense just mean less and less and less. And there's probably going to be more rule changes implemented where it's even less contact across the middle of the field. So I think it's going to keep happening. It's going to keep shooting up viewership, but it definitely does hurt kind of the defenses win championships kind of idea. So I would say that.
Anthony?
It's interesting. Defenses are not overrated. If you watched football for the past, you got to go back, right? 20, 30, 40 years, you'll know that it's cyclical. Defenses tend to take the lead. Then offenses get more advanced and they take the lead. And then defenses figure it out and they start to change. And again, like I said, it goes round and round. In terms of the rule changes that Matt alluded to, he's correct. The NFL has made rule changes. One, for player safety, right? We're protecting the quarterback more than we ever have, right? If you look at a quarterback wrong, it's a flag. Defenseless receivers, like there's rules for player safety. And those, look, it's hard to argue that when it comes to player safety. But they've also realized that the casual fan, the fringe fan, not the diehard fan, likes to see scoring, right? They want to see scoring. So they've made it that it is easier for the offense to score points because that's what the people want. It will become a point where that's gone too far, right? And they will have to pull that back a little bit because you don't want to see, 34-40, that's fun. 67-62, like in college games, not so much, right? So there's a fine line that they have to do there. So are defenses overrated? No. Can they take over games? Well, yeah. They just held Aaron Rodgers to 0 touchdowns and 10 points, the San Francisco 49ers. That if you looked at their offenses, well, that should have been a Green Bay win, right? It should have been on paper, but the defense stepped up and held a team and a quarterback who's considered by some one of the greatest ever to 0 touchdowns and 10 points. So can defenses still hold? Yes. It's become, though, the defense is more of a situational defense, right? Matt used the Chiefs as an example. They are a great example. Their defense isn't great, but guess what? In those games last season, when they were down, in the season before, when they were down big points, and you got that big Patrick Mahomes, oh my God, he came back from 21 points down. Do you know why he came back from 21 points? Because his defense held the other team to 0. The defense has to be situational, that's one of the part that we miss. And the last point I'll make, no teams won a Super Bowl without having a top 10 scoring defense. Not in the last 20 years. So defenses still matter, but there is that cyclical part that goes to it as well.
So when you say cyclical, how would defensive rule changes, how would that end up impacting the defense in a positive way? Because we saw it this year. Because when you're blocking now, instead of only grabbing inside your pad, you can grab outside. And that's a huge plus for offensive linemen. That's a huge plus for the blocking game in general. You can't touch receivers downfield. You can't hit guys across the middle. I don't think there's any chance that there's going to be rule changes that are more positive for the defense. I mean, it feels like every single year there's an extra rule added on that just makes it harder for the defense. So how would we get to a spot? Because yes, like you have to play great situational defense, but how is that going to like adjust? I don't see how that would happen.
There've been, again, as the rule changes, again, if you go back historically, you'll see the offenses tend to take the lead, and then defenses come up with. If you look at like the '85 Bears, their defense stopped everybody. That defense would get killed today. It would get killed today. There's no way that it would even last. And what happened? Well, then teams started to score, and they changed it up. In terms of the rule changes, the rule changes that will favor defenses won't come until you start seeing those 50, 60-point games. And then they'll come back on those like pass interference calls, those ones that give them, there are teams now that play their wide receivers to get a pass interference call. Hey, just go down 20 yards and turn. I'm going to back shoulder you, and the DB is going to hit you, and it's going to be like you see it. That's the play now. It's to get a PI. So they're going to have to make those adjustments. But you'll see defensive backs, as an example, hey, they're going to be turning their heads quicker. They'll learn new ways to defend because it always happens. It always happens. And if it doesn't, then what I said will happen is teams will start scoring 60, 65 points, and then they'll have to do something because that's not going to be fun. I guarantee you, if you see an NFL team go 65 to 62, no one's going to enjoy that game. I guarantee you no one will enjoy that game.
Well, definitely not. But I think overall, from a league perspective, you're not going to see.
OJ would like that 65-62 game. But
I mean, you're not going to – I just don't think you're going to ever see a corner be able to, like, dominate the game like you used to be able to. Because you have guys that are able to go inside and out. And if you have a guy line up in the slot and you have, okay, he can run across the middle, he's not going to get hit. Well, he has the ability to play so much more inside out, where a long time ago, I mean, if you bring up the 85 Bears, that's because you didn't have to worry about a guy going inside. You're playing, if you're a corner, you're saying, yeah, okay, go inside. Go run a crossing pattern with my middle linebacker.
What's got me thinking about that is it's not that the rules will ever favor the offenses, but it is
the defense. They won't favor the defenses because they favor the offenses.
Defenses. But it is a matter. I do believe it a matter of time before just defenses adjust and the schemes adjust and the coaches adjust and they get players into the right positions. But I'm only acknowledging the cyclical remark in that. Honestly, you guys brought it all show long. I appreciate it, Matt. When you started the conversation with the rules, that was the point I wanted to hear. On the offensive, defense is different. The rules are just insane on how the game is played at this point in time. But I do believe in the defenses coming around on it. I know who I want to put the crown on. OJ, who would you go with?
I'll be honest with you. The rebuttal that Matt had about the cyclical thing, I think was brilliant. And I don't think Anthony gave a rationale that justified it. And I also hope that you guys brought up the linebackers. The evolution of the linebacking position is the only thing to counter offenses. Now you have slender linebackers. They're playing coverage because Urlacher and Zach Thomas, they couldn't play in today's games. So for those reasons, I would have Matt. I think that was a great point.
OJ,
hold on. Urlacher could drop back into coverage. Don't you dare talk about my boy like that.
Date is over. Jay, who would you be rolling with, my man?
You're rolling with Matt?
No, I'm asking you, who are you rolling with?
Oh, I'm saying because if you're not rolling with Flume, bro, I don't know what else to tell you, bro. The defense, bro, if y'all gonna sit here and try to tell me that defense don't win damn championships, I don't know what the hell to tell y'all, honestly, because you've seen the Atlanta Falcons come. The Patriots came back because the Patriots defense actually started locking them up. We had the Rams versus New England Patriots, where it's nothing but a defensive game. We just seen Aaron Rodgers get locked the hell up. Defense are still the key to win. The Bucs, the only reason they came back the last game is because Cam Akers kept fumbling the damn ball.
Jay, if only you could have brought that passion to round one.
Tell me that,
it would have been
here
fantastic.
Right
now. Y'all can't tell me that defense don't win champions. Regardless of the rules, they still find ways to work around that, bro. The amount the defense.
I'm going crazy looking for my Urlacher jersey.
Bro. It's just, bro, like I'm telling y'all, bro, defense is still the way to go. And the Kansas City Chiefs, I told Fluent time and time again, I don't know what the hell they drink over there, but it's like games they look terrible and games they locking anybody up, bro. I don't know how they do it.
Matt,
that's just
the respect I have for OJ gets me on the fence a little bit, but Jay, your passion brought me back to Realityville. Anthony, I do dub thee champion of the night.
Let's go.
Yes.
I would like to present you with 30 seconds of your own time.
Thank you. I appreciate it. My 30 seconds, of course, is going to be going back to overtime. The overtime rules need to change. You need to play a full quarter of football, get both teams an opportunity to play defense, to play offense, to play special teams, and then we won't have an argument. Just think about this. When only one team gets the ball, they go down and score a touchdown and it's over. You have half the people complaining that it's not fair, it's not right, and we have these controversies. If both teams were to have an opportunity to play offense, to play defense, and to play special teams, all that goes away.
And you can have that with college rules.
Gimmicks. Start at the
Well
25-yard
done,
line.
Anthony.
No
Well
kicking.
done
Where's the
to
special?
all
Where's
our
the special teams?
contestants.
No, you can't argue my 30 seconds.
We
Next
thank you
week.
all for joining us at Table for One, the best sports debate show available. Thank you for joining. I've been your host, Jeff, a.k.a. Basketball for Brains. Have yourself an excellent rest of your day.
Don't forget to tune in next week. I'll be the host.